Hello everyone, my name is Nunes. They're back with everyone 2018 career mode here, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in Season 3 with Force India for the last time of the season, round 21 out of 21. As you maybe can see, the video is like 10 minutes longer than it is normal, but I decided I wanted to give you a bit more of a video for the season finale, because after this I'm going to be taking around a week's break or something off of this career mode, because I have a couple of projects actually for YouTube that I want to get done and dusted before I start on the new season, and then I'll be good to go on the new season where I don't have any projects for this YouTube channel. So I'll make a bit of a longer video, so enjoy this video right now for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You can see it's going to be clear, other things would be weird. That's what I'm saying, but there was like rain in the real life Grand Prix, funnily enough. We still have the fastest car because of the top four all plateau. Sauber actually getting a better car than Mercedes and also Ferrari now, so they've been doing good progress right now. They might actually be a front-running team by the end of next season because we don't have any regulation changes. I haven't said that this season yet, funnily enough, but we have no regulation changes, so the running order is going to be completely the same for the next season, where Force India is going to be one of the best teams. And rounding off our time with Force India, we're actually going to be purchasing just an ultimate upgrade for the next season. Just to say bye in like a good way. Of course, we'll also get a lot of R&D points from the race, but we sadly can't use them. Of course, talking about the championship, we will have a championship, a world champion within the next 20 to 25 minutes. So, taking a look at the championship standings, Fernando Alonso leads by 3 points. That means we'll have to outscore him by 3 points to take home the championship. Ricciardo's behind by 6 points, so it's extremely close at the top 3. And if you've seen the last episodes, it has been so close where every single point has been counting, but now it's the point. Hundreds of hours of editing has been leading up to this moment right here, the championship finale here in Abu Dhabi. Let's get into qualifying and see how we do.
Here we are at the beautiful Yas Marina circuit where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax and enjoy the action.
Alright, so here we are coming into Q1. We're going to go out at the end of the session on the softest tire combo, which is the Harbour Soft tires. That kind of matches our pink car, a pink livery, the Pink Panther in the Force India team. Going around the first lap right here. It's 132.9 and only enough for an 11th place. So we continue straight on to another lap, run wide in turn 1, because why the actual G's is not. We're going to continue straight on to another lap to see if we can improve. It's still worn tires, yes I know, but the lap was still up by 4 tenths, and then I threw like half a tenth away right here. Then it's enough to get us up to 6th place and through to Q2, down in 7th place. A teammate Sergio Perez up in 3rd, and then you have the 5 eliminations right at the end. Our fellow Dane included in that one. Coming into Q2, we're not going to be seeing if we can make it through on the ultra soft tires, because I don't think I could. I was pushing pretty much as hard as I could on the lap before. Maybe a bit of mistakes on the lap before actually in Q1, but here we are Q2. It's a new session. There's more grip on the circuit. Exactly, in qualifying the grip evolves so much throughout qualifying. It's absolutely insane. But anyway, first lap of the session in 1 minute 32.2. It's lagging quite a bit right now, and that lap was actually enough to get us through into Q3, just in 8th place. So very, very close. But here we are, final top 10 shootout of the season. It's gotten more towards night. Here we are coming on to maybe our final qualifying lap for Force India, at least for now. So it better be a good one. This one wasn't on point. I actually made a mistake through the first sector that caused like quite a lot of time. So I'm whatever happens, unless it's a very, very good time, we're gonna continue on to the last. But anyway, coming around the final corners, can we manage to snatch that pole from Lewis Hamilton? We're in 10th at the moment. Can we improve that? Yes, we can, but it's only enough for a 5th place. So not enough. We return to the garage to get a new set of Hypersoft tires to see if we can get that one onto bed. And here we are, and this is definitely on our last qualifying lap for Force India, so it better be an insane qualifying lap. And you can see here, as I talked about, this section was where I made a mistake on the other one. You can see there it just goes up by 3 tenths, and that's extremely positive. So at least we know that we'll be better. I kind of like that when you just drive how you normally do, and you're still faster than you normally are. And through the last couple of corners, I threw away a little bit of time, but you can see we're up by like around 3 tenths, and over the line we go. And that is going to be enough to be in 2nd place for tomorrow's race, which just increases our chances even more of getting that of getting the amount of points that we need. Fernando Alonso qualified down in 6th, and Daniel Ricciardo actually qualified all the way down in 10th place. So a terrible qualifying sessions for our two championship rivals. Hopefully we'll manage to snatch home the championship by quite a lot, but you never know. You never know what happens in these races. And now it was beginning to get to the time with 28 laps from finding out who will take home the world championship. But here we are for the Abu Dhabi race, final race of the season. You can see the absolutely massive hotel that looks like a male genital. It's going to be clear throughout the race, of course. The day-night transition kind of gets darker and darker throughout the race. Here we are taking a look at this circuit, just around 5.5 kilometers, and of course the two long straights right after each other, double DRS. So if you don't get the overtake down to turn 8, you'll definitely get it down to turn 11. But here we are. You can see the championship at the bottom as well. Says Alonso is in front, we are behind him, and Dan Ricciardo is in third. Also, the constructors championship actually we're leading it, but it's like extremely close. It could be right around the corner. Taking a look at the grid there, we're actually going to be starting on pole position because Lewis Hamilton has some grid place penalties. Fernando Alonso is going to be starting in 4th, and our other championship rival Dan Ricciardo is going to be starting in 12th. So Alonso is probably the one who has the best chance of taking home this championship today. He's going to be starting on the 2nd row, and he has 3 more points than us. So if we both, if I finish 3rd, he finishes 4th, we actually managed to get an equal championship, then he would end up winning because he has more race wins. But here we are on the grid, final race of the season, final race for Force India, 28 laps around the Yas Marina circuit. Here we are, it's 5 laps, and away we go. We get off to a good getaway there. We managed to cover off Sainz down to the first corner. You can see that the McLaren and Mercedes going side by side right behind us. Sainz there kind of follows up right behind us, but we've always managed to get a gap right there. The two Mercedes are side by side. Our teammate trying to go around the outside of the 2nd corner right there, but here we are coming down to the tight corners leading onto the long straight. Valtteri Bottas goes for a nice switchback maneuver through the chicane right there. Side by side they go with the McLaren. Nothing really happens up in front at us and Sainz at the moment. We just managed to put out a gap on these guys, just kind of get out of the DRS whenever we come to lap number 3. You can see it's light at the moment, but by the time we finish this race in around half an hour's time, or 45 minutes time, at least in real life time, it will be dark. Coming into turn 8 right here, good place for overtaking, but Sainz doesn't manage to get us. We managed to keep it up right here, so now it's time to optimize the tire temperature. So we can manage to settle into the race and settle in and get some good stuff. But here as Sainz maybe going for the move around the outside of turn 11 down to the chicane we go now, and we managed to get that. But right behind us, the two Mercedes are going side by side through this corner. They go right then, right behind Nico Hulkenberg, and Fernando Alonso is going side by side as well. So all of this side by side action will allow us to kind of just go away out in front. First lap done, 27 laps to go, and we're in the lead of the race. From pole, and we're still leading the race. But of course there's a lot of the race left. I didn't talk about run the 2-stop strategy. I don't know about these other guys. I think it either said 2-stop or 3-stop, so I believe most of these guys on the 2-stop. As we run deep into this corner, Sainz goes for a dive down the inside, and we go side by side, but we managed to pull off the traction right of the bat there. He keeps his nose in there actually. We're going to kind of pull over to the side so we can go to the defensive line if we want that. There's quite a lot of laps remaining. Of course we need to keep this one up. We have a Mercedes power unit, so it's pretty powerful, was what I would like to say. Sainz goes past us now down the inside of turn 11, not with DRS assistance because that is not possible. We make mistakes pretty much instantly after, and we just begin to lose time. Lewis Hamilton, the real life 5 times world champion, but the in-game 4 times world champion. Of course, and a Mercedes that actually isn't very good. It's kind of like the midfield in this game, but here we are with the DRS on. We come back to dive down the inside of Carlos Sainz. We won right. That wasn't on purpose, but we get the position back. And Carlos Sainz. So a lot of battling going on right here, kind of like the real life Grand Prix where the other years we've had no battling, and that has kind of been a bad thing. But this year in real life and in game, we're actually quite a lot of battling on track action. But we still continue to lead with Sainz right up our gearbox. We need to kind of defend from him very, very much if we want to keep this on. But of course we don't need a victory. It's all about where Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo finish from our side, and of course we also need to defend the the Red Bulls, me and Sergio Perez versus the Red Bulls of Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, because actually McLaren's, I think McLaren's could also take home the constructors standings, the constructors championship, but that's not the biggest chance. You know, they're quite a far way behind. Here we are taking a look at the championship update. Alonso's actually fallen a bit behind. He's right in front of a teammate as well as Daniel Ricciardo, so we're looking very, very positive for taking home the title in this race. As I said, it's getting darker and darker, which also means it's getting colder and colder. And the tire wear is going to change. Here we are taking a nice helicopter view. I love these views. I don't know why. They're just so awesome, the helicopter views. It has kind of a good sense of speed, a good sense of how fast these cars are actually going through corners. Here we are, lap number 6. We're going to come into the pits. I actually forgot to come into the pit on lap number 5. That was where we were supposed to pit, but I forgot to come into the pits. But here we are, lap number 6. We are going to be going into the pits for another set of, I think we're going to, yes, we're still going, we go Ultrasoft to Hypersoft. I think we did Hypersoft, Ultrasoft, so that must be a Hypersoft tire that we're still on. These guys are all continuing on. We're actually one of the only one going into the pits. Now we are coming under the racetrack out of the pit. We go very, very unique pit exit. I got to say, I kind of like it because you get out in a fast corner coming into a braking zone. Some good battles can arise coming out of the pit exit. We come out behind the Toro Rosso of Brendan Hartley. He's got to hold above, of course, which is not going to be good for a strategy, because that means Carlos Sainz, whenever he goes into the pitch, which is actually now, that means that he might actually be able to pull over off the overcut on us, because Brendan Hartley in the Toro Rosso, of course, the worst guy on the grid, the backmarker team, he's going to hold us up a lot, and that is not going to be good for us. And here we are coming over the start-finish line. You can see Carlos Sainz's name going under the track right there. You can see he coming up on the other side of the fence right there. He is going to be coming out right in front of Brendan Hartley as we get very, very close there. And we go into the pits right there. We spun around and we go for the gap into the sign. We go and we've spun around. We're not out of the race, but that might be the moment that has defined the championship for us right there. We've spun around in dramatic action. You can see hit the sign. We just went in between the Ferrari of things, Sebastian Vettel and Carlos Sainz. I think the Toro Rosso, because I was kind of having to move away from the track, and you can see we just come across, touch each other. We move even further across, and you can see we just go to the moon and back. You can see on board from the behind of Renault. You can see that's kind of a hilarious view. Just a Force India just strolling past normal Sunday life. You can see as well, you can see how much speed there was. We just got in between those guys and managed to not retire from the race. Very, very nice right there. You can see on board for my front wing. That could have been a plane crash. Isn't that what Martin Brundle says? This is kind of a hilarious view. Just a Force India flying past in the front and then just continuing on normally. I guess Carlos Sainz was pretty scared right there. We just scared the shit out of him. But on a serious note, we need to continue on in this race. We quickly catch up to Brendan Hartley. Of course, we don't have any front wing damage, but we quickly catch up to Brendan Hartley. I was mad at him because he held us up. But the more you express your anger, the more you express your sadness in these races, the more it will disturb your driving style. But here we are going for a very, very weird move on Fernando Alonso. I mean, it's still a move, but we still managed to go for it. And you can see our teammate going at it with the Sauber of Leclerc right there, and you can see now Alonso's going to go for the move at the chicane and the hairpin right there. So two championship battles rivaling out. Ricciardo has managed to gain time on us while all these problems we've had, because of course Alonso's gotten held up by the Sauber as well. And here we are gaining with the DRS, with the slipstream down to turn 8. We go almost a double overtake. But we just didn't manage to get it in there. We got Fernando Alonso on the go, but we didn't manage to get the sub off Charles Leclerc. Of course, as I talked about in the introduction, we have a double DRS rate down to turn 8. We go. We managed to outbrake. He managed to outbrake us right there, and he's holding us up because I think the Sauber is the 5th best car. We have the best car on the grid. So now we're gonna go for the move around the outside right there, and he's locked up, and we go through right here. We have an onboard from Fernando Alonso, who's actually hit into the front wheel of him right there. I don't think he got any damage or anything. But that's kind of a sad thing there for him. And now right in front of us, we have Sebastian Vettel and our teammate Sergio Perez going at it. They're attacking each other. They're making contact. They're doing anything to make us get closer to them, and we quickly do. Around half a lap later, they're still going side by side. Absolutely insane. We managed to catch up to them. Championship update at the moment. Actually, with 3 in a row. Somehow all of this traffic has managed Ricciardo to catch up massively. You can see at the moment we're trying to go for the move on Sebastian Vettel. But right behind us... Right behind us is Fernando Alonso. Right behind Alonso is Daniel Ricciardo. Now we go for the move on Sebastian Vettel, the Ferrari. That is the 7th best car on the grid, I think. Oh, no, 6th best car on the grid. So not a very good one. You can see Alonso also slips through. Now it's just time for Ricciardo to get through. It's kind of like a 3 in a row. But it looks like we're getting out on top. If Fernando finishes right behind us in this standings, we will not get the championship. But here we are taking a look at it. Ricciardo at this moment has gotten past Alonso, but they're actually kind of battling it out. In the lead at the moment is Kimi Raikkonen, but kind of the net lead because Roman Grosjean, Ericsson and Raikkonen hasn't pitted in, but Carlos Sainz is kind of the net lead. Valtteri Bottas hasn't pitted as well. Nico Hulkenberg is in 6th place. So we're kind of in 6th place whenever Raikkonen, Ericsson and Grosjean comes into the pits, but of course they aren't into the pits yet, so that kind of doesn't count. Here we are. Alonso and Ricciardo are now battling each other right behind us, which would kind of allow us to get into the race right there. But you can see Alonso's locked up. Of course, we're cheering for Daniel Ricciardo because he's longest away, and it's Alonso that we want to outscore. So we're cheering for Daniel Ricciardo in that battle quite a lot. You can see here in front of us our teammate Sergio Perez getting attacked by Lewis Hamilton. So lap number 15, we're going to come in for the second stop of the day, coming in to get on the ultra soft tires, the harder tire, or the middle tire compound in this race. You can see they're nice and quick pit stop, and as we rejoin now for this very, very unique pit exit, coming up the hill we go through the track here. I don't know if these guys have actually pitted in, but as we rejoin right in front of, I think that's Ericsson. No, it's Magnus in the Haas, of course, yes it is. But now it's time for us to push. We have the ultra soft tires, we have new tires. We're around halfway through the race, and we need to keep this one home. Of course, it is our last race with Force India, as I've said around 1,000,000 times in this video. As I said, I love these helicopter views. They're the freaking best. They're just so beautiful. But here we have Daniel Ricciardo now coming into the pits for, I think, the same strategy as we're using. He's going on to the ultra soft tires, and no, that's not Fernando Alonso in the pits. It's Stoffel Van Dorn, that little stuff, but... almost close to being Stoffel Van Dorn, but here from the lead, pitting in is Carlos Sainz as well. We've managed to put out a gap on Valtteri Bottas, who has made a one-stop work very well. I don't know how he started, but it didn't start on 2nd place, that's for sure. And now he's coming in for his first and final stop of the day, so he could actually be in contention for the race lead if he can just manage to get the move on Carlos Sainz. Here we have Alonso coming into the pits as well, so now it's time for us to really go push out of the hill we go. You can see through past the pit entry. What am I trying to say? I'm not talking at the moment. I'm not talking English. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Alonso's going to come out a long way behind us, even behind Lewis Hamilton, who we actually got past during those pit rounds. Now here we are going past Grosjean easily with the DRS. As we talked about earlier, Ricciardo and Alonso still battling each other, guys. Calm down, Alonso. You just have to let Ricciardo pass so you can score less points, and so that we can win this championship for India. Here we have our teammate Sergio Perez coming into the pits for the same strategy as we are also soft tires. He's going to reach on right in front of us as we now get fastest lap of the race. There's 8 laps remaining, 7 laps now, and we're fastest man on track. Can we manage to get our teammate Sergio Perez? You can see at the moment it's Ricciardo right behind us. He's managed to get past Alonso. And that's very, very good. But Ericsson somehow here has made his way up right there. We get held up by him. But if he could just stay there, we would get home that championship. By the way, taking a look at another race status right there. Alonso's all the way down in 10th place. So that means we'll score 8 points, he'll score 1 point, and we'll outscore him by 7 points. We just need to outscore him by 3 to get home the championship right there. Daniel Ricciardo's down in 8th place, the Australian right there. Here we are, some nice views of us going around the kind of male genital hotel that looks kind of fancy. Not gonna lie, it's a very, I think it's like 1,300 euros every night you want to sleep there, but I mean it looks awesome. So that's the point. Here we have a teammate making the move. I think that was Kimi Raikkonen, and here we are here we are coming on I'm gonna try that one again. Okay, here we are coming on to the last lap with Force India, last lap of the season before we can claim the world champion and call ourselves not only the last season world champion, champion, but also this season world champion. After so much work, after so many hours of driving, so many hours of editing, we could call ourselves world champion. But of course, the race isn't done yet. We still have a Ricciardo and Alonso. Ricciardo's actually got past Ericsson, but Alonso hasn't. So at the moment it looks positive. There's only around half a lap remaining. Here we are coming into the final sector in the pink liveried car. Of course, we are going to be changing teams for the next season. So here we are. Last time with the number 4. On this thing, last sector, last couple of corners where we can call ourselves a one-time world champion, and we'll make it to 2 in a very short time. But other notes, Carlos Sainz here taking home a dominant race victory right after he got past us in the pits. He's been pulling out a gap. That one has been getting bigger and bigger, but that's not the focus now. Here we are coming around the last couple of corners to claim a 6th place, and with that we're gonna take home the drivers and the constructors world championship. Absolutely insane stuff, an insane performance. Ricciardo getting very close on the exit.
Fantastic drive, and it means your driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
And so the celebrations begin. Quoted from Crofty. I mean, this is awesome. We came here in the start of the season not expecting anything with the 4th best car on the grid. Managed out to get it up to the best car and take home that World Drivers' Championship. 3 points in front of Fernando Alonso and 6 points in front of Daniel Ricciardo. They were so close. I actually read a stat here from not so long time ago that said that if Alonso had gotten 11 more points in his career at certain times, he had been a 5 times world champion. We can make that 14, and he'd have been a 6 times world champion now. But here we are. Last time we'll see the pink helmet and the pink driver's suit right there. Coming on to the official results of the race. Race winner Carlos Sainz, a 1-2 for Renault right there. Dominant performance from these guys. Then you have Sergio Perez, double fin, and then you have us down in 6th place. Daniel Ricciardo right behind us, and Alonso there finishing behind the Sauber of Marcus Ericsson in the last race of the season. He still has 7 seasons remaining with the Sauber. Oh, is it 6? I don't know. He still has a lot of season remaining with the McLaren team to get home the championship. So hopefully we will win the last 6 seasons. Okay, that would be a bit boring to be honest. But who knows? Who knows what's in store? Or who knows what's in store for me? Who knows what's in store for us? You have the, as I said, the official results, and that there in the driver standings, the top step of it all, and we're world champion right at the last race. As I said, we managed to get him by 3 points. We managed to get our own teammate by 67 points. So pretty dominant performance. Those standings will stand there in history for for pretty much forever, because this is coming up on YouTube and the internet is fucking infinity. But you can see that we managed to get the constructors standings by 25 points over Red Bull, which is not a lot. And then she asked me, you must be confident about winning this season. I've just won it, and she asked me about that. Have we watched the same race, the same motorsport? Not to be honest, I was kind of pissed off at what she asked. It was kind of a sad thing, but here we are. You can see the rivalry with Sergio Perez is going to be left on the table, because we're going to have a new teammate in the next season. You can see we get a lot of resource points. We can't use them for anything because we're going to be changing teams, and because of this shit system that doesn't really work. Yes, and then we can't use those 2,000 R&D points we just got. I know it's ridiculous, but here we are, drivers world champions for the second time in this career mode. How awesome is that? How awesome is that trophy right there? I know it's just a virtual game, but I've used so much time on this. I'm actually happy about it. Constructor standings as well, which is an honor to be given that one right there. It's awesome, of course. Everything is awesome.
Nice job this season. You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year. Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
Alright, so we've seen that cutscene around a million times. This is the time. If you want to wait until next season to find out where I'm going to be driving, I would recommend that you click off this video or go maybe a minute or two into the future. But here we are taking a look. next season, I've been thinking about this all season. I've been thinking about it since I joined Force India. I knew that I was going to go to Mercedes next season. I love this team, okay? And I'm looking so much for it. They're kind of falling down the grid. And we're going to be doing a multi-year deal, at least 2 years. At the Mercedes AMG Petronas. I love this team. Okay, it's a fantastic team, and from next season we are going to be in the silverware, in the Silver Arrows team. I love it. But here we are, the official standings of the season. We won with 3 points over Fernando Alonso. 2 trophies on either side, which is so nice to see. Here you have all of the results from season 1, 2, and 3. If you for some weird reason wanted to know that, but that is everything for this season. I would very, very much appreciate if you leave the like down below, because I have put hundreds of hours into recording these videos and all the stuff like that, editing them. So I would very, very much appreciate if you did that. Here you have the final results and the performance stuff and stuff like that. But oh well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed all of this season. I will be back with kind of a BBC thing. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that shit, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
As we make contact, and he spun it straight into the wall, and there's a massive crash. And then there's contact. We lock up and we gotta go straight on there. So, and we're out of the race. No way. Alonso's got straight into us there. And there's actually a crash between Double Force India and Double McLaren. We come over the line to claim an insane victory here at the Canadian Grand Prix and get onto the curb right there. And we'll lose it. We've spun it around, right? We don't know what's going on in the car, and no one knows what is happening. I just know that it's going to be no points. But it is a 1-2 for Force India here, the Mexican Grand Prix race. But here we have, we spun around in the number 4 for Zeta. We have front wing damage, and into the wall we go. And there's even more front wing damage for us right there. Final race of the season, final race for Force India. 28 laps around the Yas Marina circuit. Here it's 5 laps, and away we go. Right there, we spun around, and we go for the gap into the sign. We go. We're gonna take home the drivers and the Constructors World Championship. Absolutely insane stuff